Deborah Moorhead here, and welcome to this three-part video on the 3 myths that we tell ourselves that keep us unhappy and the steps to turn it around. I've been working and helping people for over 20 years, and when people come to see me, they are often lost in their pain and their struggle. And what I have discovered is that they often have 3 myths that they tell themselves that keep them unhappy. Here's the 3 myths that I've heard time and time again. Number 1, what somebody else does or did in the past matters. Number 2, what I think is the truth. Number 3, I can't control my happiness or my feelings. It depends on others or the circumstances. So in each of these videos, we are going to cover 1 myth. We're going to start now on the first myth, which is what someone else does or did in the past matters. Now, first of all, I want you to know, if there is presently someone in front of you or around you that is insulting you and abusing you, that does matter, and I want you to get away from that. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is when someone else does something, we often carry that story around and around and around in our head. Or to really keep it going, we tell everybody around us how bad that was that they did this. So this is what I want you to keep in your mind. What someone else does is what someone else does. It's about them, it's not about you. So that's why it doesn't have to matter to you what someone has done. So the question is, what do you want to do about it? Well, you have 2 choices. Number 1 choice is keep that bad story going around and around. Make sure everybody knows how bad the person is that they did it. Make sure they know how bad they were and keep it going round and round. And in the process, give up your power and give up your happiness. Or choice number 2, you can flip it. And here are the 3 steps to do just that. Number 1, to flip that it doesn't have to matter what someone else does, is take your power back. Since what they did or said is about them and it's not about you, then your job is to figure out, why am I reacting? What's my stuff? Because that's about you. I have a few questions you can ask yourself to help you to do that. The first question is, well, what feelings did come out of whatever they said or did? The second thing is, what is my reason or my why behind my reaction? Was there hurt because I didn't feel cared for, or I didn't feel important, or I didn't feel respected? Figure out the reason behind so you know what your reaction is about. Then make sure you connect to any past situations that may have had some similar feelings, because what you're doing is you're bringing those past in and you're reacting to the present situation. So figure out the past stuff. And finally, what do I need to do to take care of myself so I can move on? That's what you can do for step number 1 to take your power back. Figure out about you and your reactions. I have a question for you. How many people here know that they are an imperfect human being? I'll raise my hand. You know, the truth is, human beings, we are all imperfect and we all make mistakes. And one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to learn how to accept yourself more. Accept that you don't have to be perfect. You're just doing the best you can, and it's okay to make some mistakes. So here is where number 2 comes in. The more that you can accept yourself, then you are going to bring in empathy and compassion for those people around you. So when somebody does something, you can bring in the empathy and you can connect to their pain, and that they're just kind of trying in their imperfect ways to deal with their pain. All right, the third thing that you can do to help you get over that it doesn't matter what somebody else does is, if this is an important relationship, you do want to take the time to figure out what it is that you need from them. It still doesn't have to matter what they did, but you do want to take the time and figure out, to help them in your relationship, what it is they can do differently next time. And then when you're not upset, you go back, tell them how you felt, and just let them know what they can do differently for next time. So that is part one of our 3 myths that we tell ourselves that keep us unhappy. And now you know what the other person does doesn't have to matter to you. And you know what you can do to help get you there. First, you're going to take your power back. Second, you're going to bring in empathy. And third, you are going to go back, if it's an important person, and let them know what they could have done differently in the situation. Come back for myth number 2, which is what I think is the truth. I will see you next time. And don't forget to sign up for your complimentary discovery session.